This is Joshua Harris with Frankly Cigars, and I'm here with Rick Rodriguez, the owner, founder, CEO, head matriarch, and team patriarch of West Tampa Cigars. Uh, Rick, you got a great history,
Yeah.
lineage. I mean, I know that your parents were in the cigar industry, and they passed that love on to you.
Yep.
Anything you want to say before we get into the questions?
No, it's just thank you for the opportunity to share little stories about West Tampa and my career. Yeah, it's been unbelievable. Again, I was 40 years old before I got into the cigar business and never smoked a cigar before that. And looking back over these, last 28 years, it's amazing what I have been able to do in this business. Matter of fact, the little factory behind me was where my grandfather and grandmother from Cuba came to roll the cigars in West Tampa because they went to Ybor City like everybody in the 50s to get a job. And my grandfather didn't like the fact that they had foreigners working in those factories, like Italians and Germans and Polish people. And
How
my
dare they?
grandmother said, we're really off the boat ourselves about 2 weeks ago. Oh, this is Tampa. This is Cuba North. Because he heard about it so much, but yeah, so he went to I think they went to both of them were level seven rollers, the top rollers. They could roll
Wow.
anything. And then, so they went to two or three factories in Ybor City and realized, yeah, they're all there. And so the last factory, he says, where do I go to work just with Cubans? Oh, you go to West Tampa. They only hire Cuban workers. And
Oh,
so
wow.
that's the reason he ended up in this building behind me. And that was the old Villazon building. And so Villazon came a part of my career. So, when I was hired by General Cigar, maybe 2 or 3 years before that, they bought Villazon. And Villazon was making Punch, Hoya, Excalibur in this factory. And that was sold to General Cigar. So, yeah, again, for full circle,
So our first question is, when did you have your first cigar? You said you were 40, but when was the actual moment that you had your first cigar? Like, where were you?
I was having dinner with the gentleman that was interviewing me for a job in the cigar business. He was head of sales for General Cigar, and him, his wife, and myself and my wife went to Ybor City, had a dinner, and we were walking out through Ybor City and to have another drink. And he's, hey, there's a cigar shop open. Go in there and buy a couple of cigars for us. And my wife looked at me and said, what are you going to do? I'm, well, I'm going to go and buy a couple of cigars.
Right.
And I walked out and handed him a cigar. And I had a cigar. And I'm looking at him, how he's going to cut it open. And, he was using his thumbnail. So I did that. And my wife says, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to smoke a cigar. Have you ever? No. But I did it. And I started to cough. Thank God before the dinner, I said to the group, I'm catching a cold, so hopefully I don't have a coughing attack in the restaurant.
So you had an out for the coughing.
Exactly.
Laying the
And I said, oh,
foundation.
and he said to me, okay, is a cigar okay? Oh, it's not the cigar, it's my cough. And so the next day he called me and says, bro, if you want the job, you have it.
Wow.
And I started. And about maybe a week later, General Cigar was hired and they sent me about, 100, 200 boxes of cigars, every cigar they make. And my wife says, again, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to go to the garage and start to smoke cigars. And that was the beginning of my career. And I was with General Cigar for about, going on 24 years.
So
And I was
when does the West Tampa fake it till you make it come out? When is that? Is
you
it
know
the new
what? There's
blend?
so much other stories that I want to share with, this fans of West Tampa, but it's just amazing. Again, that bug bite me and I was sold. I loved it. And so I was a little salesman for General Cigar for about maybe 5 years, 4 or 5 years, and then they promoted me to start to train me to become a blender, and the rest is kind of history.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
What's your favorite drink to pair with a cigar?
You know what? I'm a simple guy. I'm not going to fucking lie to you. I love you to death. Bud Light. I just love Bud Light because I don't want a liquor or a beer to interfere with this. So a Bud Light has no flavor, nothing at all. It's just bubbly water. So it just refreshes my palate and I enjoy it. So Bud Light is the
Yeah,
best pairing for
I
any
would not.
cigar.
I would not have guessed that with $1 million and a gun to my head. You could have asked me that 50 times, and I would have got that wrong every time.
Uh,
Wow. Yeah, my dad was a Bud Light drinker, and so I
mhm.
remember when we became of age and we started stealing beer, that we stole Bud Light because we figured, well, this has got to be the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so we hit it, and it
Yeah.
got warm after being cold, and then we went ahead and went to it, and then came back, and it was warm and skunky, and I was like, why
Oh,
would anybody want to drink
horrible.
this? Why would anybody want to
Horrible.
put this in their body?
But you know what? It's just one of my favorites, along with fried chicken. But you know, those that's for another story. But yeah.
What's your advice to a new cigar smoker?
Seek out somebody that will share with you the best cigar for you at that time, because again, you don't want to go into a friend that's been smoking, for years and say, "I want to smoke one of your cigars," and he's
Right.
going to turn you on to that cigar you're not ready for. So if you can trust somebody to experience that cigar for the first time, the right way, you're going to dig what you're going to end up with. This industry opens doors for you, creates friendships that you can never imagine
Yeah.
through this little thing called cigars. So trust somebody that's going to, share a good cigar with you that you can, handle and enjoy and learn from there.
What's your what's the cigar rule that when it's violated in front of you, it makes your skin crawl?
Mm.
What's the thing that you see and you're just like, I can't
Yeah.
believe that people don't know that being cigar smokers? We've had a bunch of different answers, but what's your? I know you got one because I can see it forming.
Yeah, you know what? I think, just, your knowledge. Just don't try to impress everybody with your little nugget of knowledge. It just, oh, I know. How do you know about this? Or, no, shut the fuck up, because there's so much disinformation out there. And I hear these guys, well, they grow these tobacco plants for 2 years and they're about fucking 15 feet tall. Like, what are you talking about? But these are stories that they heard from somebody. So it
Oh yeah.
just get me, going when I hear somebody talking over their head about cigars to somebody that's trying to learn about cigars.
Well, and the greatest one ever was you and I did an event together, and the guy came in and tried to tell you your entire life story.
Yes.
Tried to explain to you how it was your parents and not your grandparents that
Yeah,
had
yeah,
encouraged you
yeah,
to be in the
yeah.
cigar industry. And I
Mhm.
stood there and watched you smile and shake their hand and give them
Right,
some cigars. And when you basically patted them on the head verbally to go ahead and go, I said, "How do you do this?" And you said, "No,
right.
well, it happens all the time. It's not like it's just
Again, I will correct somebody kind of in the background. I would never, ever embarrass somebody. I would never do that. I would simply say, okay, that's your belief. And then later on, hey, guys, we don't grow tobacco for fucking 2 or 3 years. It's just,
what was the
it's
moment
a weed. It's a weed. It's about
right.
6 weeks, So,
What was
yeah.
the moment you felt like a real cigar smoker? Was it in the garage laboratory where you had the 200 boxes of cigars? Was it the first sale? What was the moment where you knew you were a cigar smoker?
I, I was in a meeting in New York City with Mr. Coleman and Benji Menendez and Ernesto Perez Creo and Frank Inessa, all these legendary Hall of Fame guys. And we're doing a meeting about the year sales and all that. And I was brought there to represent the sales force. And I was in there and I was smoking this cigar with Hall of Fame legends. And I said, what? I just learned about 6 months ago, a year into my career, how many cigars were in a box. I didn't know. I didn't know how many cigars in a box. I was so focused on the wrapper from Connecticut Shade with Macanudo and this. I never ever thought about how many cigars I'm selling in the box. So I was there in the meeting and I was pinching myself. You do. You don't need to be here. You should not be here, but enjoy this fucking moment because a lot of cigars, lovers would love the opportunity just to sit there and listen to these guys, talk about cigars.
My grandfather told me once, he said, there'll be a moment where you're drowning in the water, and then you look down and you realize, oh man, this water is really blue and it
Yeah.
has some green to it. And you start to
Hmm.
appreciate how the water is. He said, and
Hmm.
you don't even realize that you're drowning in it anymore.
Yeah,
And
I
I think we've
was.
all had that moment in cigars where it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
wow, I can do this. This is
Yeah.
so cool. What was the last cigar that surprised you?
Hmm.
Could have been something you
Well,
went back to that you didn't
yeah,
remember.
you know what? Surprise in my career was the Amazon Basin.
Yeah,
That was something so unique, so different to gather, the team around this tobacco, to work with this tobacco for the first time, discovering how to use it, how to work with it was fun. But the experience that we shared in that factory, this first time that we smoked it, I say, this is so different, but so good.
yeah.
I don't know. Let's launch and see if the fan base of Seattle would love it. And it just surprised me that that cigar is, kind of still sought after as
Yeah.
highly demanding that cigar it is today. So yeah, so something like that really surprised me. And then even the band that we created for the cigar was so unique and all that. So, and that was not done from me or anybody on the tape or team. It was done by a roller in the factory. So, so all that combination every every f- every planet was in line for this for us to be able to create that cigar.
And I get to have the opportunity to tell you the story, the end of the story that you started for me. So
Hmm.
you told me when they first came out,
Hmm.
take one of these and put it in a bag with a human pack with Raisin Bran.
Yes,
And I looked
yes,
like you had three heads. I
yeah,
came home and I did it. And you said you
yeah,
gotta wait. It'll take on the characteristics of the raisin. It'll improve the
right,
in the cigar. It'll improve
yep,
the texture of it.
yep.
I thought you were crazy, Ricky. I brought
Hmm.
that thing out of the cellophane. The cellophane was so brown. The
Right,
cigar smoked so good. I'm being
right.
completely honest with you. I was standing outside in 27-degree weather,
Hmm.
and I'm
Hmm.
standing there stomping my feet in my in my long dress coat,
Hmm.
going, I can't go back inside. This cigar is too good. Then
Yeah, it's amazing.
and how that cigar came together, it was just incredible. What's your favorite cigar right now?
Right now, I'm like any cigar smoker. My newest cigar I have in the market is Circle Life, and I'm smoking right now. So I tend to pound when I make or when I buy a cigar out there in the market. It's new. I just smoke, smoke, smoke. So I was in the red. I was into the whites for so long. Devil Crab is kind of sneaking into my kind of, but right now I'm just pounding daily the Circle Life for sure.
Now you talked earlier about putting your thumb in to the top of the cigar, having it
Hmm.
first time.
Hmm.
I had been to trade show after trade show, seen guys like you and guys like the Padrones and the Fuentes
Hmm.
do it. And so I practiced it and got really good at it and showed up at the
Yeah,
trade show and I was like, look, guys, look what I could do. And nobody
right.
could. But what's your favorite accessory? Do you have a favorite accessory? Do you have a lighter that you keep? Do you have a cutter? Is there a cut that you prefer? Like,
No, I was taught by these legendary guys, and they all did their openings by the thumb, and I did that for ever. So I do use a cutter on certain like a torpedo. I would definitely use a cutter, but a good lighter, a good pocket lighter, and sometimes it's the cheaper ones that they you can see the little fluid in it. I just love
right,
them. I just love them because they last. The Jeep lighters, if they can
right,
come back, then we're the best. Bro, they just didn't go out. You can keep them for years, and they
right.
just worked.
And you
So
can
those are
actually
the.
wash them. Like you can wash them in your pants and they still
It's
come out and still
amazing. It
work.
was
Yeah.
amazing. But those are, kind of, cutters. I kind of freak out when I see a cutter
Yeah.
in the shop that everybody's looking at our
Oh,
cigars and fucking.
yeah.
I just, bro, I love you to death, but I don't want to fucking make out with you right now. So I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna use my thumbnail
So
to.
I know you met a lot of legends and a lot of industry guys. Is there somebody in the industry that you've been epically impressed with? Is there one that stands out?
Well, yeah, because I was so lucky. Ernesto Perez Grillo, his knowledge of conditioning tobacco, Benji Menendez, to call him almost a father figure. This is the guy that was making and owning the H. Hutman factory in Cuba and making cigars for Kennedy, and so
Wow.
those are the guys. But outside, Carlito, Cynthia Fuente. They're such a loving the Newmans. What they're doing for the industry in Tampa right now. Those are the guys. The guys that that I kind of came on board with the Pete Johnsons and the Baton Booth. They're all cool, but they're kind of my equals. So I always gravitated to the older regime. Can you teach me something about this thing called cigars? So I was lucky because I have smoked a lot of cigars with a lot of people, and some of these legendary guys would I remember sharing a cigar that I was making for La Gloria, and I went to this little boutique. It was in Miami, and they had a La Gloria factory in Miami. And I was, I always seen this little boutique manufacturer in Miami. It was Papin.
Wow.
And I remember one day I was walking by, and I was my head was this big and all that. So I was walking by, and I remember kind of creeping into his, hey, I'm going to share a cigar with you, little man. Bless your heart, trying to do your little business. I work for General Cigar. And I remember bringing him samples, and him and I,
Oh,
and
wow.
this little table in the back of this factory, and I said, "What do you think about it?" What, but like I'm saying to myself, "What does the old man know about tobacco?" And then and then 5 years later, Paping is just over like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I should have respected that guy a little bit more.
Well,
You
my between story was I see him across the lounge before PCA, and I said, "Oh,
know.
I'd like to send that guy a beer." Yeah, he doesn't
Mhm,
drink at that time, so the beer comes right back to me, and I was like,
mhm.
"All right then." Like, good. He's gonna see me as that kid that sends. Hey, all right.
Right.
Let me grow this beard and hide behind it. That'll be simple.
But
The last question, Rick, is there
mhm.
anything you want to ask me?
Do you think you've seen everybody, you met everybody? Are we all the same? Meaning, we all are concerned of sharing our knowledge, sharing our kind of lessons.
Hmm.
Or there's some guys like, bro, it's just about them or the money. It's not about the passion and about the sharing the stories. Do you think we're all the same, but in personality, we're all different. But
Mhm.
the key of it is, do you see the difference meeting me and meeting somebody else and say, bro, this guy is just, you know,
Well, I definitely see the difference.
okay.
But I think that it's more, the example I would use was everybody's like sea creatures. You got some turtles, you got some fish, you got some
Hmm.
sharks, you got some dolphins, and they're all concerned with kind of different things. But when you
Hmm.
step back and look at it, we all live under the water. So
Hmm. Yeah.
we're part
Yeah.
of that 7 or 8% of people in the world that smoke cigars. And it's not,
Right.
you and I have joked before that we work in the largest, smallest, biggest, most effed up industry in the world.
Yeah. 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 Sure.
That it checks all those boxes at the same time. Like
Yeah.
I think about talking with people with PCA and they're like, well, we're going to book this trade show. And I'm like, you guys have no idea what a trade show is because our trade show is so small compared to like the construction trade show or the porn trade show
Right.
or
Right.
even the plastics trade show.
Yeah. Yeah. For
I,
sure.
I walk
Uh,
by and
you
saw
know,
a plastics trade show and they have six of the rooms that we have one of. So
Go to the trade show for tobacco in Europe. It
okay.
makes our trade show looks like the big bands that you used to play in the stadium, and now
Right.
you're booking the fucking fairs, the county fairs.
You
It's
got
like
you
that. Wow,
got a
wow,
lounge
what a
show.
difference! What because in their eyes, the premium cigar sector is very small. It's
Yeah.
about machine made cigarettes and pipe tobacco and
Oh,
chews and all
they
that.
still
It's
have snuff.
not.
Like they're still dealing in snuff, and
Yes,
like
yes,
you
it's
have people who
amazing.
literally will
It's
take a can and
amazing.
just kind of.
Yeah, yeah, but it's just different, and Europeans are different, and the Asians are different, the way they smoke, and the Americans. But the Americans are so blessed, bro. We're so blessed that we have access to great shop owners, great shop employees, and great shops, and and you get to meet the Rockies of the world, the Pepins of the world, the Rickies of the world every time you want to. And if you want to, you can put in your calendar this year coming up. I'm going to see the top 10 manufacturers. And you can.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
They're
you
going
can
to come to you, or you can go to a big, event, and you can see them and talk to them. So that's kind of special. That's something that Europe and Asia doesn't get, and they
right.
don't get it. So we're really blessed in America that the industry focuses on America because we smoke about 70% of every cigar that's made in the world.
Wow,
So
I didn't
yeah,
know that happened.
yeah, for sure, for sure. It
Wow.
is that big of a market in the US versus Europe and Asia, for sure.
Well, I appreciate you. You know,
I don't want to end this, bro. I
well,
miss
I
you so
know.
much. I don't
You
want
gotta hang
to.
out there.
I created my own top 10 questions I want to ask myself. So if you mind, I'm going to just. But bro, thank you so much for helping us get our word out. What's happening to we just turned 3 years old, and we're in over 750 doors in the this country, and
Right.
then globally we're in 32 countries globally. We're very close to signing a deal with China, so we're going to be in the China market, and
Wow.
so yeah, so it's what's happening to West Tampa is in the beginning, support Ricky. Love him. I trust him. I'm going to support him. Today, don't care about Ricky. It's about the cigar. And that's the beautiful thing because we are making some good cigars and our fan base is really adhering to them. So thank you for the opportunity to share this story and a little bit
I
about
definitely appreciate it,
myself.
Ricky. And I'm honored to call you a mentor, and I'm even more honored to call you a friend. So I do
I
appreciate
love you,
the
bro.
time
I
today.
really do.
I love you too, man.
All right, man. Take care and a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's to everybody out there, and hopefully you Happy Hanukkah too.
Thanks, Rick.
Yeah, all right, okay. Bye bye.
Bye.